Fable 68. The Old Hound. An old hound, who had been a very excellent one in his time, and given his master great sport and satisfaction in many a chase, at last, by the effect of years, became feeble and unserviceable. However, being in the field one day, when the stag was almost run down, he happened to be the first that came in with him, and seized him by one of his haunches, but, his decayed and broken teeth not being able to keep their hold, the deer escaped, and threw him quite out. Upon which his master, being in a great passion, and going to strike him, the honest old creature is said to have barked out his apology. "Ah, do not strike your poor old servant. It is not my heart and inclination, but my strength and speed, that fail me. If what I now am displeases you, pray do not forget what I have been." Moral. Forget not services. Application. The introduction of Christianity into the world effected a great social revolution, and invested with new sanctions all the various mutual relationships of life. Men were no longer taught to regard themselves only as fellow men and fellow countrymen, but as bound together by new and more endearing ties, as admitted into a new society, in which they were members of one body, and gained new privileges, as children of one common father, brothers in one redeemed and renewed humanity, and inheritors of one final home. The heathen world, at the first propagation of these new tidings, was divided into two great classes, masters and slaves. The relationships existing between them were in an especial manner ameliorated and changed. Those who accepted the new teachings found themselves brought under new other. The slave was taught no longer to serve his master with the eye service of fear and self-interest, but with a singleness of heart. The master was enjoined to show kindness to his slave, as admitted into the new society, in which he had equal privileges with himself, and as remembering that he had a master in heaven. These motives still continue to prevail, and yet animate, in a greater or less degree, the various members of well-regulated families. In such households, the interests of the master are dear to the SEN, and the master, in his turn, does not forget the lengthened services of his domestics, but advises them as opportunities may arise, and takes care that, if their services are dispensed with by reason of their increasing infirmities, they are, in old age, neither deserted nor unprovided for. Small service is true service, while it lasts. Of friends, however humble, scorn not one. The daisy, by the shadow that it casts, protects the lingering dewdrop from the sun. The owner of the old hound in this fable will not have many imitators. The instances will be very rare in which a master will allow a faithful servant to want, after he has spent the years of his strength and the better part of his life in his service. Use laborers gently, keep this as a law, make child to be civil, keep servant in